Alright guys, we're going to show you today a couple little tricks and trades on how to put a nice backsplash like this on there. So as you can see, lots of little tiles. They come in strips like this. And of course, let me show you what we're doing in here. Okay, so we've got all our walls up at this one. And as you can see, we have some outlets to cut around. We have this window frame to cut around. And when you're dealing with these little tiles like this, it's really hard to keep them level and square. I've noticed these ones are all a little different size too, so that makes it a little more difficult. A couple things you're going to want to do. Okay, I like to use these wedge spacers. Okay, they sell these at Lowe's. They're wedge spacers. These are really nice because sometimes you can't use the same spacer on everything. So get yourself some wedge spacers. Okay, and then we get a lot of questions on your Thinset. So the most important thing you want to do is mix your Thinset, and you want to mix it thick like peanut butter, okay? You don't want to mix it like pancake batter. So you want it to hold its form, and you want it to be a little thicker than you think. It's very, very scientific to not get it too thick or too thin. Too thick, it won't stick. Too thin, it'll just start to make a mess on everything. So make sure your Thinset is mixed properly. Now, a lot of people ask whether to use white Thinset or gray Thinset. It depends on the color of your tile. If it's a dark tile, use dark gray Thinset. If it's a light colored tile, use a white Thinset, okay? So here we go. Come on in. There's two ways that we can do this, okay? So I've got 3 of these sheets set up, and I tried to do my best to cut around this outlet right here, okay? So there's 2 ways you can do this, okay? I'm going to show you the first way. Get yourself some of your mixed up Thinset, put it on your wall, and then screed it in nice and evenly, okay? Now it's important to make sure that it's even. And when I say even, I mean keep your trowel about a 45 away from the wall and keep it consistent. What you don't want to do is go like this, you know, and have it up like this. It'll make it all different sizes, okay? So consistent, meaning get it all over the wall and make sure it's the same thickness throughout the whole thing. So here we go. Good. So this is one method, okay, that I'm showing you guys. And I'm going to show you another method here too, okay? All right, I'm happy with that, okay? So what we want to do, Nathan, you might want to get on this side here, is we want to push our tiles up where we're going to start them at here. And it's important on these particular type of tiles that you're pushing them out, okay? And then you should be able just to push them all pretty close, okay? Make sure they're all in there. Okay, once that one's set, we're going to put this next set up, okay? And you will start to see some differences. You know, some lines are tight, some are loose, and that's part of the having these tiles the way they are. They're a little different in their sizes. And now I'm going to show you guys what I like to do instead of doing it that way. One thing that I really like to do is get me just a little bit of grout here. Okay, come around this way now. Okay, and then I just like to just consistently get this on the back of my tile. I feel like this is a lot less messy doing it down here. And again, it really is important that you mix your Thinset just right so that it's not too thin. Otherwise it would run right through the mesh. Okay? So this is the method I like to use when I can. There's always exceptions to every rule. Okay? I'm happy with this. Alright, so what we're going to do now is pick this up nice and gently. We're going to set it up here. Can you see it, Nathan? Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna pull our outlets out without getting shocked. Okay, we're gonna press all these in good. Now, when I do tile like this, I like to make sure that I'm ready to go so that I can just keep going. I don't like to lollygag and let the first set up and then let the second set, put the second set on. I like to do it all at the same time so that if anything needs to be adjusted, it can be adjusted. So we're ready for our next rack. Okay, and we have this is one of the reasons I like to do it the way I did it the last time, is I can come up to this and I can mark around this outlet. Now you don't want to mark all the way up to the top of these. You want to mark, if you see the blue box behind here, you want to mark just right above that circle where the screw goes in right here, right above that. So I see here, okay, we're going to cut that straight through. Now we're going to show you guys how to cut these. Come with me. You guys are going to need to get yourself a tile saw of some sort, a wet tile saw. I like these ridges right here that they sell at Home Depot. They're about $700 or $800 and they work great. Okay, so we're just going to put this on. Okay guys, we're going to wipe off the back, get all that excess moisture off of there. Okay, and as you can see, where we made our cuts. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut the back of this mesh. I like to keep my mesh intact if I can. I'm going to break it. I'm going to break it the rest of the way. Okay, and I'm going to dry fit it. Make sure it fits. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now we're going to set it down gently. We're going to pull it up here. We're going to go back to getting some of our Thinset here and just working it in. A little bit more here. Now you guys will get the hang of this over time. Sometimes it's easy to make things look like it's simple. It's really easy to let this Thinset get out of hand and start getting all over the place. But I'm happy with this right here. Okay, so I'm just going to gently pick this up. Clean this off right here. Okay, let's put it right there. There we go. Notice I'm holding the top up so it doesn't all fall to the bottom before the Thinset kicks in. Okay. Okay, and then this piece, we'll get that piece set once we get it a little more. But guys, go through every once in a while and just make sure all those tiles are pushed in. Okay, good. Okay, now we're ready to cut around this. We'll slowly show you guys. I'll do this next cut for you. Okay, these ones can be a little challenging. Okay, so come over here. You can see we're going to be right about there on our edge. And once we cut that, we're going to cut this whole piece off here. So come on out. Now the reason I have my tile saw all the way out here is because when you're cutting tiles and spraying all that water, it'll turn the side of the house white and the side of the car white. So keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm cutting that top piece off, and here's our little piece for up here. Okay, we know that that's going to go there, but we're going to dry fit this just to see here. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to set this down, and again. All right, let's see how we do here. So as we're going along, we will notice sometimes we need to pop a little spacer in a place like this to keep that one level. And then we have this little guy right here that's going to go here. Okay, so we're going to put a little mud on him like that. Okay, and we're just going to set him in there like that. And you just want to make sure that you're getting a good bond up against the wall. And see, I got my gaps the same on this and this. So we're ready for the next rack. That's what we're going to do here. Simple as it gets. Set this one down. Cut off a row. Okay. Dry fit it. Okay, happy with that. And we're gonna put some mud on there. Okay, here we go. Okay, ready for another one. Now I do notice that that this is getting a little off kilter. We can adjust this later. We can try to figure out what we're going to do there, but for now, there's nothing we can do about that. So here we go. here. Good. Okay. Happy with that. So if your wall's straight, you should be able to go through and just put these on and not have to worry about adjusting them too much. So this next one's going to be a little tricky. We have two cuts here. Okay, we have this one and that one. Okay, here we go. So we're going to cut those portions off, dry fit it, good, okay. And then we're going to mud it. Okay, happy with that. Notice I'm holding it up, keeping pressure up there, and just kind of gently pushing them all in. Okay, good. And this next one we're going to have to cut as well. So, again, we pull this out. Try to not electrocute ourselves. Okay, we hold it up. Like I said, I like to mark to the edge of the box. So we're going to cut it there, and we're going to cut it here. That'll be a small piece that we'll have to put in. All right. We're gonna get our rag here, wipe off the excess water. Okay. We're going to cut that back off. There it is. We're going to dry fit it. Okay, good. Happy with that. And we're going to mud it. Notice when your Thinset is mixed properly, it sure does make life a lot easier on the home front here. So remember, a lot of times people mix it too thin. If there's one way they lean, they tend to mix their Thinset too thin, and that just makes it run everywhere and it makes life miserable. Okay, happy with that? Good. Here we go. Pull our plugs out over our tile. And just make sure that they're all pushed in good. Push it that way a little bit. Good. Okay, and then we have this little piece that we're going to put on after this next piece goes on. So here we go. All right. We got one little cut to do here. Nope. I'll flip this one around like this. Dry fit. Good. So we're gonna see if we can switch our tiles here. Grab this one here. Okay. And get some good stuff here. Oops. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with that. Well, one good rule of thumb, guys, is just to not stress out. Sometimes when you got Thinset that's setting up on you, and you got all these little tiles that don't seem to be going the way they're supposed to. Now, a lot of times, like you can see, this one's a little lower than that one, so I'm gonna have to put a little spacer here. So just take your time. Don't stress out. If your Thinset sets up on you, leave it. Just try to get it out of the bucket if you can, so you can save your bucket. But even if not, a bucket's $5, and that's better just to let it set up than stressing yourself out and destroying everything in your life. Okay, so as you can see, we got one more little cut here, and then we're going to start on the top part. So on these end cuts, you get your tile here. Get your tape measure. Okay, and we're going to measure into this one here. So we've got about 4 inches. So it's right here, pretty much right in the middle of a tile. So we're going to go ahead and just cut that right in the middle. Okay, you guys can come out with me. Okay, we're gonna wipe the excess water off of the back. Good, we're gonna dry fit it. Okay, I am happy with that. And this one's gonna be a little more tricky because it's small, but I think we can do it. We do it sideways here. So, we'll go like this. Okay, and then we'll get a little more and do it this way. Okay, good. Happy with that. Okay, then gently pick it up so we don't break them apart and set them up where they're supposed to go. Like I said, I like to do the top and bottom at the same time. Some people will let the bottom set up, but I like to do the top and the bottom at the same time, just in case there's something a little off, like see this one here? So we're gonna go ahead and put a little space through there. And this is the time that I like to go through and just make sure that everything is somewhat level and balanced. But as we go along, we're gonna see all of the imperfections and whatnot. And it's not gonna be perfect. These are all different sizes, but as you can see, we got this one to put in here. Notice how I do a little triangle on the back here. Okay, you definitely want a good bond, especially on these little ones, so they don't fall off when you're grouting. But once you kind of see it squeeze out through there, not to the point where it's coming out to the face, but you can kind of see it squeezing in there. And that'll hold that tile in place. So, okay, so good news, these are 18 inches, so we can cut a tile completely in half and start running our top row. So we're gonna dry fit it real quick, make sure that it fits. Okay, good. And as you can see where we started, that's why I don't like to do it that way. We got to pull that Thinset off square and start from scratch. So what I like to do is clean my trowel off like this. Okay, and then I like to set the back of my trowel up here and just wipe it down like that. Put the excess back in the bucket. Okay. What you don't want to do when you kind of let it set for too long, I will go ahead and take a little square or something or another and pull all this off because it gets too dry. Once this gets too dry, it's not going to stick. So I like to just pull this off. And again, you got to do what works for you, but I no longer like doing it this way where you just kind of mess the wall up, and as you can see, got a lot more cleanup to do. So we're going to do these cuts later, but for right now we're going to start on this top part. Okay, now every once in a while you can see this is getting dry up here. Okay, I will scrape my edges down and just kind of mix it around in there a little bit just to get it all the same consistency. Okay, pretty soon here we're gonna have to mix some more, but for now, get what I need here. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay. All right, so this one's gonna go this way. Oh wait, no, I was right, wasn't I? It's gonna go this way. Okay, one thing I forgot to do, guys, is cut this end one's cut just a little. So I'm going to pull that back off. Okay. Wipe my hands off here a little bit. All right, you can pause it, Nathan. Alright guys, so got these cut to size now, so that's good. We're just going to push them up in there, just like that. Now this is where your spacers are going to start coming in handy, because you're laying it on the top. Now I don't like to get overboard with them, but I just like enough of a space to where it doesn't look like there's something wrong. Okay, and then we'll slap this one up here too. Now guys, it doesn't always work out to where these things line up like this, where it's tight up against the bottom of the cabinet there. But it sure is nice when they do that. Okay, so again, just kind of push on everything, make sure it's all nice and snug in there. Okay, and then this next one, you can see we're gonna have to cut it. So move all this stuff out of our way. And hold it in place and mark with the sides of our outlets here. And then it looks like we'll be doing just that top part there too. So okay, we're going to cut our pieces off. Okay, we're going to wipe down our if you notice I ripped this top edge because it's going to be getting a little tight in here, so I ripped that top edge. Okay, we're going to dry fit it. This one keeps wanting to fall off on me. We're going to dry fit it. Okay, I'm happy with that. Good. Okay, and I'm going to put us some Thinset on there. gentle with this little guy right here. Okay, good. Okay, there it is. Pull your outlets out without getting shocked. Good. Okay. Now this is where the definitely where the spacers are going to come in handy. As you can see, that one automatically needs a couple. Right there and right there. Good. I'm going to push all this stuff in nice and tight now. Just get it just so, and then we're going to try to put a spacer right there. All right, guys, as you can see, it's coming along. There it is. Good. Okay. And now we're ready for the next one. Okay. And again, this one might need a little bit of shaving off of the top. Okay. So we have a light switch to cut around. Yep. So we're going to shave this one right there on the top like that. Okay. Then we're going to cut around our light here. So right here and right here. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. Now I have a little bit of a dimple on there. I'm going to try to get a pair of pliers and get that off here. So, there it goes. Good. Okay, let's see how she looks now. Okay, good. You know, I might take a little bit off of this corner here. Okay, so now I'm happy with that. Okay. We want to dry it off good. Okay, and then we want to come over here. Happy with that? Maybe a little more right here. Okay. There we go. All right, looking good. Now you can see where we're going to need our spacers here. Very good. Good. That's when I start pushing it in, is when I kind of got it somewhat ready for where it needs to be. Okay. So again, another little spacer here. And then we'll do another one on top of that. Okay, good. And then have a couple cuts here. Guys, we're gonna do our end cuts and these cuts and finish this off and then show you guys the finished product. I hope that you learned something, and if you have any comments, good or bad, please leave them. And remember to subscribe and hit that like button. Alright guys, as you can see, we're just finishing up our last few pieces. In this top row, we're going to be using a lot more of our spacers than we were using on the bottom row. So like I said, we're just doing a little triangle. Maybe a little less than that. Squishing it in there. Okay, and then this is our last piece for this edge here. Push it all in there. Grab a couple of these splicers. As you can see, we're using a lot more splicers on this top row just because of everything that's going on here. These stones are all a little bit different sized, so we're just doing our best here to make them look good. So, alright guys, so there was just a little gap up here that we're going to be working on. As you can see, we're kind of working our way down. I just wanted to show you a quick little trick that I like to use when I'm doing a small gap like this. So, getting the right amount of mud behind your wall without making a big mess. And this is what I do. I get my drywall mud pan, okay, and I just scrape up the edge a little bit, like this. Okay. And then what I do is I get my tile, I figure out where it needs to be, and then I just scrape a little bit up like this on the back, okay? This gives me the perfect amount to slide in there. And then I'll put my little piece of trim here, and then if you notice, it's not getting everywhere. Again, I'll do it again here. You get your tile, you get your you get it on the back there, and you just gently roll it in there. As you can see, it's a real tight spot, so we're just trying to move our way down real slow. And the next step after this is grouting, so we'll show you guys that next. Give you guys a quick pan view, and as you can see, some people grout these. Alright guys, we're grouting, as you can see, and I like to do the rainbow pattern. So just get you some in your hand and start at one spot and work your way up nice and gentle like. Good, like that. Okay, get you another handful. Okay, and then we'll get our grout tool here in a second to get the excess off. Looks like fun, huh, Savannah? Mommy can help you get a pair of gloves on.
I want a pair of gloves on.
Mommy can help you.
Yeah.
Alright guys, you can see we rubbed it all in with our fingers. And then we scrape it like this. We take a grout tool and we just scrape the excess off. Okay? That just kind of clears the tile for our sponge bath. Okay? So we want to get all the excess off and make sure that there's no holes. Sometimes you can find spots that didn't get filled in enough. Okay, good. Okay. Once you're done getting all the excess off, it really helps to get as much excess off as you can before you start sponging it. Woo. That's that one. I don't gotta worry about getting shocked.
Please subscribe.
Okay guys, so we cleaned it off with sponges, and as you can see it still looks pretty dirty, but some of it looks a little cleaner. And what I recommend is just getting some dry towels and buffing it off. You can see it lightens it up. It's one thing I don't like about grout is all of the work that goes into trying to clean up the tile. So guys, that's once we're done buffing it out with these, you can see it'll start coming along again.